I had the pleasure of covering pro football in this sports crazy town for 40 years, which I believe is second all time to Ray Didinger's 112. I've covered 35 Super Bowls. I covered some very good teams and some very, very bad ones. Of the 40 years covering football, the 2 years that were far and away the most fun for me were 1983 and 1984, when I covered the team that is being honored here tonight, the Philadelphia Stars. The United States Football League only was in existence for 3 years, but the Stars ruled it from start to finish. To quote their late great defensive line coach, John Peace, "When history is written, we'll remember who kicked butt in the spring." We do, John, we definitely do. The Stars appeared in all 3 USFL championship games and won 2 of them, including the last one in 1985, when they somehow managed to overcome the challenge of living and practicing in one city, Philadelphia, and playing their home games 90 miles away in another. This amazingly resilient team took it in stride and even found the humor in it, nicknaming themselves the Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings, after the name of a popular 70s Richard Pryor movie. But we're here to talk about the great 84 team and honor them tonight. After losing to the Michigan Panthers by 2 points in the league's first championship game in 1983, the Stars came back in '84 a team on a mission. They went through the league that season like a knife through hot butter. They went 16-2 in the '84 regular season and outscored their 3 playoff opponents 71-20 to cruise to the title, beating George Allen's Arizona Wranglers 23-3 in the championship game in Tampa in front of a crowd of 53,000. The Stars' great doghouse defense, led by future Hall of Fame linebacker Sam Mills, held opponents to 12 points a game that season. The city of Philadelphia embraced the Stars in their short existence. They had a season ticket base of nearly 30,000 in '84 in just their second season. More than 70,000 fans turned out to JFK Plaza to celebrate their championship game win after they came back from Florida. I covered a lot of games, a lot of teams in my career, but I can tell you without hesitation that none were as close as that Stars team. They were a band of brothers with a collective chip on their shoulders because of the perception that they were playing in an inferior league. One of their great linebackers, Mike Johnson, who I don't believe is here tonight, Mike went on to play 10 years in the NFL with the Browns and the Lions and made 2 Pro Bowls. He told me a while back, he said, "The guys on that team were some of the best guys I ever met. I loved my 10 years in the NFL, but it just wasn't the same experience." And fullback Duck Riley, who was one of the nearly 50 Stars players here tonight, said, "In all of my years in sports, I never experienced anything like that. Being around a unique group of guys where nobody was hating on each other, everybody was enjoying each other. I never experienced that before or since," he said. 29 players from the Stars would go on to play in the NFL after the USFL folded. 5 of them would make a total of 18 Pro Bowl appearances. One, the man they called Field Mouse, Sam Mills, would make it all the way to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Head coach Jim Moore was one of 4 Stars coaches who would go on to become NFL head coaches, along with Vince Tobin, Vic Fangio, and Don Capers. Carl Peterson, who will be up here shortly, was the brilliant president and general manager who owner Miles Tannenbaum stole away from the Eagles. Ended up becoming one of 4 front office people from the Stars who would later become NFL GMs, along with Bill Kuharich, Terry Bradway, and Rod Graves. I talked to Moore a few days ago. He apologizes for not being here tonight. He had a previous commitment. I think he's taping another DraftKings commercial with Kevin Hart, but I'm not sure.
Playoffs? Playoffs? Are you kidding me?
When the Sports Writers Association decided to honor the Stars tonight, my guess is they probably thought there'd be about a half dozen people here from the team and maybe Carl. they sure didn't expect, they didn't realize this team travels as well as Eagles fans. 40 years later, I mean, to have, you know, nearly 50 players and executives here is just stunning. Anyway, without further ado, I want to bring up Carl and the quarterback on those great Stars teams, Chuck Fusina, to present them with the Living Legend Team Award.
It's good to see so many familiar and friendly faces here in South Jersey. I lived here for 15 years, lived on the same street, and he was here, I don't know if he's still there, I hope he is, but with a guy named Ron Jaworski. We had a very eclectic neighborhood, Stars players, Eagle players, Flyer players, etc. And Jaws was a very unique person and obviously changed our fortune with the Eagles. But a quick story on him, the truth is finally out. Ron had 2 girls and a boy, and the oldest girl, Jolene, was our paper girl. And I must tell you, this young lady, in 10 years of being our paper girl, never missed the front porch. She'd throw it from the street, rain, sleet, snow, it did not matter. She did, and so obviously, grabbed her one time, I said, Julina, I guess obviously Ron must have taught you how to throw. She said, no, my mom, Liz, did. My dad's a terrible paper route thrower. When I came here with Dick Vermeil, 1976 from UCLA, the Eagles were a pretty sorry team. And I remember vividly after our first regular season game, as we're leaving the field, I'm running next to Dick, and he turned to me and said, Carl, I saw more contact in the stands today than I saw on the field. I said, I know, we got a long way to go. The fans, football fans of Philadelphia, are unique. I grew up on the West Coast. My dad was a season ticket holder of the LA Rams from the time they came from Cleveland to LA. And you learn to love these people. You also learn one thing in spades. If you beat the spread, they're happy. If you don't, they're not happy at all. It's great to see so many people, including Bill Giles, dear friend. He actually welcomed us, the Philadelphia Stars, to Veterans Stadium, and we were thrilled to share that facility with the Phillies, as well as our friends, the Eagles. I want to, again, congratulate all of our people that are here, and actually I'd like for all of our players, please stand. Stand up quickly. Our football support staff, we've got trainers that are here, equipment guys, cheerleaders, everyone, and the Philadelphia Stars fans to stand up. I think we have 4 tables. Come on, stand up. We want to thank you for all the support that you gave us in, yes, 3 short years, but they were exciting. And I also want to congratulate, it's amazing how things come full cycle, the last active Philadelphia Stars football coach is a guy by the name of Vic Fangio, current defensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles. Tonight, you, the Philadelphia sports writers, are honoring us with our United States Football League championship game of 1984. I have to tell you that it was a very unique team, actually all 3 years. And I've told this story before. I guess I made my living in the league, first of all, as a player personnel guy. I started as a scout, but quickly got kicked upstairs by Dick Vermeil with the Eagles. We can measure just about anything on a potential NFL, USFL football player. Height, weight, speed, everything that's important, athleticism. But the one thing we cannot measure is the size of the player's heart. And I've told this team this, we've had a couple of reunions over the last 10 years. No one that I've ever been around, I've been around championship teams, 20 years in Kansas City, no one had the size of the heart of the Philadelphia Stars of the United States Football League. Thank you. Like I said, we have a unique team. Paul identified that. 9 assistant coaches, every one of them went on to the NFL. 4 of them became head coaches. 4 of them became general managers. There was a reason that we won, but it started and ended with those players. They played because they loved the game. And if there's anything I've learned in evaluating, scouting players, is the guy you want on your team is not concerned about the size of the check. He's about winning. And obviously I think you've got that team again here in Philadelphia. And I must say, obviously, I hope it ends up Philadelphia, Kansas City. I want to say, and on behalf of myself, Jim Mora, our ownership, Miles Tannenbaum, Art Powell, Harold Schaefer, all those people that were involved with starting something called Pro Football in the Spring, a fledgling league. I would share with you that we beat twice a year, and in the playoffs, each year, a team called the New Jersey Generals, who happened to be owned at that time by our current president-elect. And we relish that, obviously. More importantly, though, was this honoring 40 years later. I don't know why it took you so long, but we appreciate it very, very much. And I want to, again, personally thank you, and on behalf of Coach Jim Mora, and probably the 2 leaders on offense, Chuck Vicina, and the late, great, and Pro Football Hall of Famer, Sam Mills, who led this wonderful team for 3 years. I want to say thank you to the sports writers for this award. It's something that happened. It'll live, as they say, in infamy, and we appreciate your allegiance. So many Stars fans came up to us tonight. It was great. But I have to, obviously, as a former Eagle, wish you the best to get to the Super Bowl, and I hope again that you can and meet my Kansas City Chiefs there. Thank you very much.